first for Normal Prophecy. We are live on YouTube, and yeah, I don't know if it's working. I don't know if there's anyone out there, but this is a first for me. So thank you, everyone who subscribed, so that I could get over 50 subscribers to be able to do this, because I much prefer recording live videos than recording videos and then putting them out later. It's something just easier about talking to what feels like real people out there anyway. So today I'm just having a chat with Nathan Obokoh. So hi, Nathan.
Hi.
And the reason for this is that we have our Nova prophetic gathering coming up on the 6th of June in Teesside at the Oakwood Centre in Stockton-on-Tees, Eaglescliffe, Stockton-on-Tees. And we have a full day of prophetic equipping, really. It's really to equip the church. You don't have to be a prophet or a prophetic person to come along. We will have artists, we've got theologians, we've got prophets, we've got just a good range of people to just equip us really in establishing God's kingdom on the earth, really, where we are, in all kinds of different interesting ways, and hearing his voice for the times that we are in. Sometimes it's just good to get together outside of your own environment and hear God for, the bigger subjects, rather than your own little sort of patch where you are. So that's the intention, really. It's to gather people together so that you can meet other people, so that you can be inspired and equipped and your vision enlarged, so that God can use you even more effectively than he is already. So today's intention then really is just we're going to start to kind of talk to a few of the different speakers that we have coming to Nova. And today I just thought it'd be really great to talk to Nathan, who I've known for a couple of years now, I guess.
Yeah.
I think we met just through Simon Breaker's Convergence conferences and that kind of thing. And we've just had the odd little chat. I've seen Nathan's work, and he is somebody that I just think is doing amazing work in the fields of sort of bringing creativity, the kingdom creativity and the arts together with a prophetic calling, a prophetic gift, very successfully, I would say, and innovatively as well. So he's pushing into new territory with that. And I hope that when you come to Nova, that you will just be encouraged and, and just inspired about what you could do in your area. So Nathan, it'd be good to just start by introducing yourself, telling us who you are, where you are, and just taking it from there.
Brilliant. That's fair. My name is Nathan Obokoh, and I'm here based in Leicester, where I was born. I'm a prophetic artist. I've traveled with Simon Breaker, which is obviously where we've met there, doing prophetic ministry, and I've been really pushing what God has been saying to me, and in terms of creativity and arts, and just seeing how that works together. In the past, I've been doing things like prophetic painting. I've done prophetic dancing. I managed to dance at the Edinburgh Fringe. And that was fun. But that was with a group of monks, actually, a new monastic community. And that was really fun.
Yeah,
that's
cool.
Dancer.
Right. Okay. I hope you have some skills in that area. That would not be my calling at all. And I am very left-handed, but I'm extremely left-footed as well, which is fine when you're on your own, but with other people, it just becomes a problem. I just can't coordinate properly. So rather you than me in that.
Well, and it's interesting to say that, because that's how we felt when we started, right? But after about 3 days, we started to forget that, and we started to worship. Mm-hmm. And things changed.
Fantastic.
People started to cry and everything. It was really interesting. So
yeah.
That stayed with me. And,
yeah. Well, I'm willing to have my mind opened, let's say.
I'll give you a flag on the day.
A flag's fine. That's not too bad. So I can see behind you. You have something there, and I've seen a bit of this artwork. I always see it in snippets, But you're going to be doing some stuff with us at Nova. And it'd be good to just get a sense of what it is that you do as a prophetic artist, a kingdom creative. What is it? What is that behind you?
Yeah. Well, so this is my performance piece called LightBreath. So this combines a lot of my other things, including performance and arts, and well, it's creative with these pieces. So these pieces are dichroic filters. So there's one color that transmits and then it reflects a different color.
Mm.
And they represent people. And when you put them on, they will start to reflect and transmit everything that's in them, the colors in them, as they turn towards the light. Because the
Okay.
light, of course,
It's
represents,
beautiful.
represents God. And so as they do that, as they come together, there'll be new colors that start to appear. And so this starts to build the tapestry of the kingdom. But I'm not using Christian language because I'm really talking to people who maybe have a different experience of Christianity. But what I'm really
Hmm.
interested in is giving them experience of God, giving them experience of
Yeah.
the kingdom. And through this came through prophecy. This whole creation
Wow.
came through prophecy. But I also use it to prophesy as well. So I'm able to tell stories to people specific to their situation as God leads me in the performance. That's a little
Wow.
teaser.
Yeah. Excellent. So tell me what sort of places have you used this then, and what kind of impact have you seen?
So I've been to an institute of avalanches in Switzerland. That was
Oh,
fun.
wow.
Churches, obviously in Switzerland, in Germany, and around the UK as well, in different places. I've been to schools,
Hmm.
assemblies, youth groups, and I've done it with training in banks and church training as well, leadership training.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
in those impacts, people have had some interesting. People have come to me with stories that God is telling them that I didn't say because it gives them an
Wow.
opportunity to hear from God while they're doing it.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So I bet kids love it as well. So you've been into schools
Yeah,
as well.
yeah, yeah.
That's really exciting because I think those sort of young minds, for them, hearing what God thinks of them, and the kind of uniqueness, I guess, of who they're made to be. Um, at that early age, that's so exciting. I think for calling that is the essence of prophecy, isn't it? That for people, I guess it's calling out that destiny in people, and recognizing what God says about people, and and activating them into that. So I find that very exciting. But it sounds like it's very flexible, like you can use it in different ways. Have you used it evangelistically at all?
Yeah, I've used it in places where we're not allowed to speak about God directly, and
Wow.
so
Yeah.
in those places, I've done it with the language that I've created for it, and then people have come up and spoken to me about what they've said, and some people have connected to God directly straight away. Other people have
Wow.
not, and they've connected it to other things, to relation to their own faith. But I think there are different levels of evangelism, and sometimes you just
Yes.
need to plant that seed. And
Yeah.
I know that God can speak to people through this. And so I'm asking God to do that. And I'm just giving the opportunity.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, so that's a little teaser. We don't want to like go into the whole thing because otherwise there'll be no more for us to experience when we come to Nova. Um, I'm asking everybody when we have these chats, just to kind of share. We're in this season in the world. I guess we've been really since the pandemic. We've been in turbulent, shaking times in the world. Everything seems very chaotic, very unpredictable, and there's not very much to hold on to. Leadership is shot to bits. Like I don't know where there's a leader anywhere. So, what are you feeling God saying in the times that we're in?
So God obviously usually speaks to me through pictures. And
Yes.
the picture that I'm getting is this picture of uh, a sort of like, disturbed ground with small shoots in it. And
Hmm.
what's been happening is that there's been a bit of a raking of that ground, which is exposing a few things, some roots and where those roots are going, but also the pearl, a giant pearl, so obviously pearl representing the kingdom, but it's huge. And
Hmm.
I think God is saying that actually, yes, obviously we know that his kingdom is so much greater than what's going on, but this raking, this relatively painful disturbance is not rooting the small shoots of what he's been growing in people. And it's also revealing the much stronger and powerful foundation that they're built on. And so I think, especially for creatives, that this is a time where what they've been thinking about. This is a time when it's actually coming to fruition, because I think, it may be a small shoot, and it maybe felt like the times are making it difficult to actually work in. But God is revealing a much stronger foundation for that, a much
Yeah.
greater beginning.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I would agree with that. I mean, I've noticed certainly over these last few months, maybe last 2 years, in my own creative practice, I seem to have hit this kind of seam of kind of creative health stuff, of working into, as a Christian, but not in Christian projects, um, working into, brokenness, I guess, or working with people who are really who would probably not walk into a church, but I'm able to, just in the projects that I'm doing, all of this is secular work that I'm talking about, okay, but
Mm.
God uses you wherever you are. I don't believe that there's a separation between all of that. I just think we need to be as wise as serpents and gentle as doves, like Jesus said, and keep our mouth shut when it's not right, and open it when it is right. That's simple to me. But yeah, I've just seen a bit of a kind of a development, an opening really for Christians to be able to get into the arts, and use their creativity in new different ways, and actually bringing the kingdom into people's lives, and touching them right where they are, whether that's through um, making work that people come and exhibits that people come and look at, or whether that's working alongside people to kind of help them release their creativity, or therapeutically in well-being, and things like that. And I'm just finding there's a real openness to being able to share my faith, in a context really that would have been closed a few years ago. I just think we're in a very different season. And I think, like you say, I think the ground is ready to receive. People's hearts are ready to receive um, truth. I think, I think there are a few stages for some people before it gets to, salvation, obviously. But I think people are open to truth because they can't find it. They can't see it in the world. There isn't anything solid for them to hang on to. So yeah, I'm seeing quite a lot of opportunity really, and just a different level of anointing in the
Mm.
way that I do things as well. I have a friend that I work with quite a lot, Beth Johnson, and she's had public commissions. She's been working with me in some of that arts and well-being stuff. So there's just an atmosphere, I think. So I would encourage anybody, if you're a kingdom creative, if you're called into the creative realm, to start to push some doors. I even believe there will be funding available as well. There's new rounds of Arts Council funding just about to open at the beginning of June. I believe that that there'll be a lot of successful Christians if we can just start to push out a little bit. So that's cool.
Yeah, definitely.
Um, yeah. So okay, well, I think I'm just looking at the time there. So I think we'll just start to wrap it up because we don't want to make these too long. But um, it's really exciting to hear what you're doing, Nathan. And I'm in Teesside, I'm in the Northeast, you're in the Midlands. Um, and we're making art and extending the kingdom into different spheres, which I think is amazing. But we're all coming together. We're going to bring people together in the Northeast, okay, which is obviously God's own country. This is where Christianity was born, up here. Um, so I'll sorry. So I'm going to leave you with that. It's very exciting what God's going to do. I'm
Mm.
just looking here. Yeah, well, you'll have to catch up. Somebody's commenting. You'll have to catch up when we upload it. But yeah, so come to Nova. It's on the 6th of June in Teesside. It's a full day conference. I will put the link, the booking link, in the comments here. This will also be shared on our Instagram and our Nova Instagram. If you don't follow us already, you can follow me, Normal Prophecy, on Instagram. You can follow Nova UK. I think it's called Nova UK, and Nova Ministries UK on YouTube. And we will catch you again. But thank you, Nathan. That's been really interesting to hear a little bit more about your work. And we'll meet you again and hear more about it on the 6th of June. So blessings, guys. Have a great day.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.